Back for our featured app segment. Today we're going to take a look at an app called Smart Job Queue by SmartApps. And according to SmartApps, with the Smart Job Queue installed, you can get an email after each successful run or fail. You can also set it up to restart automatically after a fail. Another cumbersome task that disappears with Smart Job Queue is management and error handling of job queues in multiple companies. And this is because you can now set up all job queues in the same company and just configure in which it should run. Now, it's got a lot of features, sounds great, looks pretty cool. One big issue, though, does not work in a sandbox environment. Ken, I believe you had the same experience as me.
Yep.
Did not work in the sandbox environment. So, in my opinion, it's absolutely ridiculous in today's world. Who wants to install apps inside a production environment and have it mess up something, without testing it before in the sandbox environment?
Yeah.
I don't know. What did you like about or what attracted you to this app, Ken?
Yeah. So part of the reason that it caught my eye is because, more and more people are relying on what's called the job queue in Business Central to automate processes on a recurring basis. So you may be, let's say, you're importing EDI transactions via a process that's running on the job queue every 15 minutes, right? Or you're auto-generating pick tickets for the warehouse every 5 minutes or every 30 minutes, right? Okay. So those are things that run a just cost every night at 2 a.m., right? Those are things that you can do on the job queue. The issue with the job queue is that someone has to go in and monitor the job queue entries and review the job queue log entries if there's a problem. Well, not even if there's a problem, really to just monitor to make sure that the jobs are still successfully running, right?
Is this a daily thing?
Is it a what?
A daily thing?
Well, yeah, right. I mean, if you want to make sure that your job queues are all running and haven't errored out, right? So, because what happens is if let's say you have a process and it's running in the job queue and it encounters an error for some reason or another. Maybe it's a user authentication issue, a bad data, whatever it is. That job queue process will just error out and stop.
Okay.
So what this app does is it will send an email notification every time a job successfully runs. It can also send an email when something does not successfully run.
So it's basically taking away the manual process of having going into the job queue every time and checking it as much as before because it's sending you notifications.
Correct.
So
yeah.
Okay.
So I could just say, you know what? Just send me. I want to get emailed if a job queue fails and does not successfully complete. Let me know. So that's what this app does. So I can kind of rest assured without having to go check all the time that all my job processes, and by the way, some of our customers may have 30, 40, or 50 different types of processes running on multiple job queues.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you could imagine, trying to check and make sure everything's running smoothly, it also can recover a job automatically after error. So once it errors out, it can restart it.
Nice.
Right.
Pretty
so
nice.
a lot of cool features. I think I saw it and I'm like, immediately thought of multiple people I know that would love this.
Yeah, anybody using the jobs for sure.
Right. Exactly. Right. So yeah. So and just to be clear, my experience. What I was able to install the app. So in my sandbox, I was able to install it. It installed successfully and deployed it into my sandbox correctly. But then when you go and you try to open the Smart Job Queue setup or overview page to actually start setting it up, you get an error that says that it's not available in a sandbox environment, right?
Yeah, So, I mean, I would imagine that they've heard a lot of people complain about that.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, from your experience, would you ever attempt to install a new app like that on a production environment if you didn't have to?
No, definitely not. I mean, well, yeah, right. No, never.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't have to, don't do it.
I was looking for the right word. I guess never. Never is the appropriate word, right? If
Got
you have a
one for a
live
reason.
database production environment, man, I would never just go deploy an app out there without testing it in a sandbox environment first, right? So yeah, yeah, we haven't talked to the folks at SmartApps. I'm guessing they're aware of this and understand what has to get done. And I'm going to be honest with you, even despite this, I mean, I still I'll check back and try it again because it looks that cool, right?
Yeah, all the features are very appealing.
Of a feature, yeah. So even if a job is running, it can give me better status messages. To show me how long it took, when was the last time it failed. There's a lot of cool stuff it looks like it does.
Yeah, after this podcast, I think just for the heck of it, I'm going to reach out to them and just see if they have, or just to make sure that they're aware of it or whatnot, and see if maybe they have some sort of workaround. Maybe they have a version that's just not an app source that we don't know about that they can send us and we can try it out. So,
and we did just recently, I mean, I don't know, relatively recently, you had 17.1 updates get released. So, give everyone gets a mulligan. But
true.
Let's see. We'll check back in January and keep our fingers crossed.
All right. So coming up, we're going to talk about year-end in Business Central. Stay tuned. I would assume this is going to be a very popular segment, given that it is December. So